And you're like, really? It's so easy with the channel locks, but then you try it with your fingers? No. It sucks. I fucking hate coaxial cable.
Stupid. Very stupid.
Let's do a show.
Yeah,
Come on.
55.
Ready to go, Jason? Or are you still?
I know. I set my
setting
DVR
up
now.
Are you good?
DVR set for Fight Night.
All right, sweet.
What are you drinking?
Orange weed.
Yeah.
O-dub.
Sweet. Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by
John Holzer.
Jason Harris.
Greg Nagel.
and we've got a plethora of Belgian beers or Belgian-style beers.
Oh, you're getting frisky with your.
Yeah, I was
we're
getting
gonna get
a little excessive with my swirling of
It's
my
a
water.
veritable Belgian copia.
Are any of these from Belgium, or are they just Belgian
No,
style?
none of them. None of
Okay.
them are actually.
We have a few.
They
LA.
like to think they are.
We've replaced Belgium.
Yeah, we've got Belgian beers from LA, the Central Coast, and Switzerland.
Okay.
Huh. Everywhere but Belgium.
That-
For some
Schweiz.
reason, that reminds me, I'm going to call back to my own joke, but somebody was talking about how craft beer is really big in China, and I'm like, that's great until the market gets flooded with cheap Chinese Pliny.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Cheap Chinese Pliny,
It's
actually.
just like-
And the thing about Cheap Chinese Pliny is that it's going to be not that good, but it's still going to be pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
you know?
it'd be like 90% as good as regular Pliny, but like fucking $3 a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It comes in 18 packs.
Would you take 90% Pliny at $3 less per bottle?
Yes.
Yeah, so would I.
If it was worth the price, yeah.
That I didn't have to chase a truck to get with some basic ass new money beer bros to chase. Yeah.
Well put. Well said.
Does the brewery have a Chinese hat?
It's a callback, see? To the brew house.
Yeah, I get that.
It was on our show, John.
So we've got to.
Oh.
So we've got to go. Our
I have a
slightly
memory.
racist thing happened.
So I may have edited that out.
Yeah. Oh, got it. So we're gonna start with some beers from a brewery that's fast becoming a favorite of Jason's.
Highland Park Brewing.
Yeah.
in-
Whoa,
it's
hey,
going,
let's
going,
go.
going,
Hey,
going,
hey,
going.
quick,
Whoa,
pour it in your fucking glass. Pour it in your
Hold
glass.
on, John.
What are you doing, Jason?
You're just yelling at me.
Oh my
Put it in
god.
your.
There we go. That's how you
What
pour
just
a beer.
happened here?
I was worried about my computer, not anything else.
I'm worried about my stuff too, and you're just like.
I'm just like, how do I beer?
I'm worried about the glass. Give me the bottle.
We used
That
to
was
have towels
comedy.
in here.
Just give me the goddamn bottle.
No,
That was Four Stooges right there.
I accidentally spill it on John's crotch.
So this disaster that we just had is Uncultured from
Uncultured.
It gushed really not that much. I just got confused.
Yeah, it
I'm
was-
running a little slow.
yeah. It was
Dude.
it was a slow gusher. But
It's like when you go to Yellowstone and there's that one fucking geyser that's like, and it's like, blah, blah,
it's not really gushing.
blah.
Excuse me. So Jason, you just were like you just had a job out in LA, and so you spent a bunch of time in Highland Park. Is that right?
Yeah, so it just so happened that I was in LA
Hollywood.
during LA Beer Week, and the guys at Highland Park went fucking crazy during LA Beer Week, and they did a new bottle release every day at 5 p.m.
Nice.
And then they did like a Cellar Maker collaboration day where they brought Cellar Maker and did a tap takeover and a sour event. It was crazy. It was pretty hardcore.
Now Highland Park is weird because it's like Highland Park Brewery is not just its own like brewery like you would go, right? Like isn't it in another thing?
Yeah,
or
it-
something
So
weird.
technically,
It's
I
in the
think
back of a laundromat, I think.
Hermosillo?
almost.
It's,
No, yeah,
it's underneath a laundromat.
the place
like
it's
Breaking
in is
Bad.
called the Hermosillo,
They
which
brew beer in washing machines.
which apparently used to be a gentleman's club,
Oh.
or like kind of a
like with cigars and suits, or
You
like
think maybe
with
like a
boobs?
speakeasy kind of thing?
yeah, more like the impression I got was kind of like a step above a whorehouse.
Oh, sweet.
Not that there's anything wrong with
Nothing wrong with that.
At least,
But,
at least it's a step above. I mean,
But so they bought it out and they converted it. And if you look, there's technically a brewery on premise and the Hermosillo, which is the bar.
Right.
And what's weird is if you buy like growlers and stuff, you buy them on a separate system that is through the brewery.
Yeah, because that's like a licensing thing.
Yeah. So it's interesting. But yeah, during beer week, they went crazy. They had so many beers out. And then I made it there Friday, and luckily they had all of them left.
Nice.
So I bought like a huge pile of Highland Park beer.
I would
Sweet.
buy a case of this because holy shit, it's good.
Yeah, so what we're sitting on is Uncultured. It's a farmhouse saison aged in red wine barrels. Use their house mix of Brett, PDO, and Lacto, aged in oak.
You definitely get the oak of the nose. Holy shit! Like
Frenchy.
this is
It's French.
super barrely on the nose.
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing I got.
Yeah, the French oak thing. And definitely like this tangerines and like wild honey.
Yes.
And it's so delicious.
Yeah, definitely the tangerine, definitely the wild honey. All in like a vanilla cream
Oh, vanilla cream. Yeah, for
kind
sure.
of thing. Yeah,
It's like ice creamy.
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah, exactly. That's the aroma that I get. Is
So damn
it's
good.
like tangerine honey ice cream.
So fucking good.
It's this beer
Good job,
is
Bugs.
a
You make good flavors.
we're seeing a lot of tart saison, which is really like you lose all of what the character of what you think a saison may be.
Right.
And I mean, I'm seeing a lot of good sour beers that are called a tart saison, but I feel like this still keeps a saison farmhouse character to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Really
like
good mouthfeel too. Wow.
yeah, it's really creamy. Yeah. I mean, it's such a blurry line anymore. you know?
But it's like compare this to I was just at Council, and their tart saison is basically a fruited Berliner Weiss.
Right.
It's 3.8% and tastes like tart and fruit, and it's like it's good.
Right.
But I'm not getting any of the character out of it of what kind of even the broad swath, the broad brush that paints saison. I'm like, well,
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
This is damn good though.
This is killer. Wow.
yeah, pretty much anything like farmhouse, wild, and their hoppy beer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of these guys, man. I've been talking them up. I think they're the sleeper in LA right now.
Yeah. There's the citrus character really pops, which is
Right.
surprising. Yeah. It's
The tangerine
it's,
thing is like
Well, yeah, I know, it's almost like a clementine sort of, where it's like tangerine
Yeah.
only it's got a little bit more like sweetness to it, almost. So it has that sort of like general bright yet sweet citrus.
I mean, when I'm looking for a saison, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Super refreshing, really nice mouthfeel, and God, it's just so
I'm
good.
wondering
Good nose, good flavor.
I don't think they added any fruit to it, but the barrels are red wine barrels that it sat in for 8 months. So I'm wondering if we're picking up some of that character.
I don't. It's
I get a little French oak.
Yeah, I definitely get more of the oak than I do any kind of like wine character per se.
Maybe on
usually-
the color too, because it's kind of a little bit of
Yeah,
a peach
it's like
haze
an
to it.
orange color.
Yeah, it's definitely an orangey. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I'm getting any real wine as opposed to oak. I'm definitely getting a lot of oak, but
I'm getting kind of a tartness on the finish, and that could be from the bugs too.
I would assume so. Yeah.
It's like we're having a seance almost.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit of
Seance.
seance saison would be the name.
Saison. That's the name of the 4B saison.
I'm
Saison,
getting a little
saison.
bit of Bob Coons on the mouth.
Or you can have it with wine grapes and call it a semillon saison seance.
And we've bugged them to try to do the show, and they've been like, yeah, hit us up. So
Yeah, it
so
really needs to be in the destination. Like,
Yeah.
where is Highland Park exactly?
Near Eagle
It's
Rock.
in Highland Park.
It's right by Eagle Rock. And,
It's a little bit
Golden
more.
Road-ish.
It's kind of between Eagle Rock and Pasadena.
So it's like northeastern sort of.
In fact, it's right near the city of Eagle. Like if you're getting off the freeway, the exit say Eagle Rock, and then you drive inland for like 3 miles, and then you're.
You kind of
at Highland
drive through a neighborhood, which is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
Highland
the,
Park
the
is
Highland
kind
Park
of
neighborhood. It's
Highland
like the
Park is
hipstery.
the new like gentrifying neighborhood.
Yeah, it's like the Williamsburg of the West Coast.
Oh,
To be honest, I've heard people say hipsters are there. People over there seem pretty trill for the most part. I'm like, it seems like pretty regular
Wow.
peeps.
And,
And I go there probably once a month.
You've got a new little mascot too. You take photos with.
Oh yeah, the
Was that
banana.
inspired from the banana car, monkey banana car at Highland Park?
Yeah, the banana car next to Highland Park became kind of like this running gag with our people.
Right.
And so my good buddy Dr. Zach got us all banana cars, and now we hashtag Banana Car Brigade.
Nice.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty rad.
banana.
Apparently, they're like pretty rare McDonald's toys from like the 90s.
Really? Yeah.
Maybe that's what inspired the ride. Like,
Well, it's from the same thing. It's from some show, and they all mention the name of it a bunch. And
there it is.
Wow.
yeah, they all
Nice.
mention
Like,
the name.
can we show
That's
the
a euphemism
yeah,
waiting
can we
to happen.
show the hangout, the banana car?
Put the banana car on the
Here's
camera.
the, here's
Banana car.
Here's the banana car, if I can hold it up.
Banana car. Banana car.
Is it going to focus?
Banana.
Please,
Banana.
Please focus, camera. There,
There
it is.
it is.
Oh, look at him.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
I'm a banana
There's
car.
another one that's a pig in a pickle.
A pig in a pickle?
Yeah. And I don't know what it is. Like, seriously, he said the name, and like, to me, it sounded like Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. I know it wasn't that, but I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying right now, man.
I don't know what words you're saying.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, I remember that show, and I'm like, yeah. I have
A
no
pig in a
idea.
pickle.
Yeah, there's a pig in a pickle.
Well, while we're figuring this out, what other beer did you have from Highland
While
Park?
we're figuring out.
Another one from
pig in a pickle.
Highland Park.
I'll professionally pour this into my glass.
Because Jason
I don't know how to pour
freaks
beer.
out.
How do I
Yeah.
pour beer?
No,
See,
the
a
thing that
fire
was
alarm was
weird
going
about
off.
that was you opened it and I saw the bubbles coming up, and I thought I'd say Jason.
No,
like
I
you'd-
was paying
like
attention
you'd take
to-
it and pour it, but then you just kind of picked it
No,
up and
I was
held
like
it.
doing something else mentally, and I was like, "Oh fuck, okay." Not because I was still like, I'm on the computer. I was trying to look up the beer info, is what it was.
No, it was just that's what, and I looked at you like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, let's pour this thing and
It's lively.
So,
Lively.
whoa, hey-o.
pour it, Matt.
It's
I gotta-
lively.
Jesus.
Usually when you get the first glass out, you don't have to worry about it. So Slow Moves is the beer that we're...
Slow moves.
which is slowly moving right up
Upward.
out the bottle.
It is a super saison. It's 8.5, 8.4. Uses Hallertau hops, a bit of rye, rosemary to provide earthiness. Aged in French oak puncheons with their house culture.
What's a punchin'?
Punchin is a larger version of a
Oh, the
an
big
oak
barrel.
Yeah,
like
it's-
the what is it? 55.
Yeah, puncheon is the French word for big
Or-
barrel.
yeah,
or
exactly.
80 gallon or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to say they're like
Yeah,
100.
120.
Oh, 120. Wow. The
Something,
big
something like
motherfuckers.
that. Yeah, they're big fuck off barrels. Yeah, but
It's like a mini fooder.
Hey, the
yeah, I love puncheons. John's phone is ringing, and
We should
he's
answer
not
it. Answer
in. Yeah. No, it's a number that he doesn't recognize.
Hi, you're
It's
live on Four
Yeah.
Brewers.
John, your phone just rang. While he was off retrieving paper towels to clean up my mess here.
While he was out, Zach
is an-
messaged me. The show is called The Busy World of Richard Scarry.
Oh, of course.
Of course, yeah. No fucking idea what it is, but apparently that's
Yeah.
this little monkey guy.
I went to get stuff and it's still gushing. Like,
Well,
It's a
John,
gusher.
you should have left it on the table. Why didn't you pour it in your glass or whatever the fuck?
Highland Park and
Touche.
John. does not
Here,
I
you
have
can
the-
use some of my paper towel here, John.
thank you.
Here, I'll
Highland
take
Park,
that.
what the fuck?
Well, they definitely have very actively carbonated beers. So
These were one-off-
under carbonation is not an issue.
These are one-off bottles. Like you can see, they have kind of like a generic label that they stamp.
Yeah, they literally stamped it with like a stamp like the ka-chunk type stamp.
Yeah,
A ka-chunk.
chewy chewy chunk. Can I have some?
No.
It's mine. I brought it. You can give me as much as I want. Give me all yours now. No one can have it.
One thing I want to point out is these are all coming in the seemingly 4B favorite 375 milliliter
No, it's the 500.
bottle.
The
The
500.
500. The 500. excuse
Perfect
me.
size. 500 mil.
Yeah,
Three bottles.
the 500 in the same as the.
I heard the brewery might be going to 500 ml bottles, right?
Same as Wicked Weed. Same as the
Wicked Weed.
We Saved Latin, I believe, is in that same
Good
bottle
bottles.
from Noble.
Yeah, it's such a great format.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take these home
and these are
bottle my
nice. I think they're small champagne bottles. 'Cause
Essentially,
they have
yeah.
kind of a big. They have the little dimple in the bottom, so you can
shit. Party girl champagne.
It's like what?
Guaranteed to get you white girl wasted.
Damn straight.
Give me a 7. I want a 7. Give me a 7. Dude, just give her a 7. So the slow moves is
Oh wow. Got some like lemongrass and
Definitely
time
get the
thing
rosemary.
happening.
Definitely get the rosemary. For
That's
sure.
what I'm looking for.
Rosemary. It's
a sled that says rosebud.
Yeah, the lemongrass thing happening is delicious.
Nice lemongrass. It's definitely got it. See, the thing that I like about this is they smell both bright and creamy. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like they both give that like sort of perception in the aroma.
You
which
sound
is,
like me describing a beer when it says it smells creamy.
It's creamy.
I think it does.
No,
Bailey's
I
smells
totally
creamy.
understand.
It has a creamy aroma.
I've said that before, and it's like, what are you talking about, dude? How can a beer smell creamy? It's like,
you like Bailey's?
This definitely has some booze on it too. I
Like,
mean,
milk
a little
smells
warming,
creamy.
Big booze.
big bougie.
Yeah, like I said, it's 8.5.
There you
So
go.
it's a
Well, I don't know. It's
there.
It's
notable.
It's there.
First
it's,
saison is
It's
notable.
comparatively mild, I think, though. Not like Kyle saison. Jeez.
Fucking big Kyle Wells, man.
no. This is actually boozier than that than Kyle stays on. I think.
I disagree.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I'd say this beer. It's really. It's got a lot of creaminess and it's got some oak. Wow.
Aged in a punch, and that's a real big barrel, right? Wow.
Big barrels.
I don't want to get punched.
It's like my nose is bad enough as it is. Wow.
I don't want to punch anyone.
Some guys are crazy out there, man. Wow.
My backyard has these trees called it's like this deciduous old like drought tolerant plant called salvia. Not the kind that you smoke.
Oh, I was
whatever
gonna
to get.
say.
Yeah.
Dude.
But it's got this really aromatic, like deserty thing, especially when it rains, and it definitely has this character in this beer.
Well, salvia is like includes sage.
Right, it's in that family.
Yeah, so
It's kind of herbal.
Really,
It's an herbal
yeah,
beer.
really herbal, really aromatic.
Yeah, I definitely get some of that character in this beer.
Yeah, it definitely it has like that kind of like almost like sagey rosemary like herbal thing
Yeah.
happening, but it's nice because it's used subtly. You know, it's not really in your face.
Yeah, you
Which
don't
is
want to
good.
like baste your turkey in it.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to see any, especially Belgian style brewery, your brewery making Belgian style beers, use spices gently. You know, I mean, it always seems like the default American craft beer thing is, you know, if you're like making
Spice the shit out of it.
Yeah, if you're using a thing, then fucking use all of it. You know, use all of the sage, which is generally a bad idea. So,
Definitely.
you know, a nice, soft, gentle hand is nice.
Word.
I like a nice,
All of
soft,
the
gentle hand.
sage.
Yeah, man. At this point, can Highland Park really do anything wrong?
Yeah.
So I've been
Have
there.
they? Have you
I've
had
probably
wrong
had
beers?
30 beers from them, which is pretty crazy.
Wow.
They're really
I've had, like,
prolific.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I get out there about once a month, and every so often there's been a few that are kind of like not so great. They have a Belgian strong golden, which is a style I like that I'm not into. It's kind of cloying, but
Yeah.
their beers that aren't good to great are the like exception, not the rule. And
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, that's
young. They're a year maybe old, if that.
Which is surprising. I mean,
Right.
take something, put it in a barrel, and to be able to pull it out and have it not have any like, you know, diacetyl or ATHP issues or like
So,
whatever. It's impressive.
Bob,
ATHP.
It's like a I think I have the acronym right. It's a flavor that you get that I've been picking up a lot lately. It's one of those things that once you taste it, you can never untaste it. But it has a flavor that is kind of easily mistaken for diacetyl, but it tastes more like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh yeah, I've had that in a few.
And so if
Belgian
you have,
beers.
yeah, it happens a lot in Belgian beers, a lot in Brett beers. It's essentially like
The Honey Nut Cheerios thing, yeah, definitely.
It essentially it's almost like diacetyl for Brett, where it works in kind of the same way, where it's a byproduct of fermentation, and eventually it gets reconsumed.
Yeah,
I believe
it goes
we've
away
talked
in the
about this
bottle,
on the
right?
show before.
I think I probably have, but
It goes
it's-
away in the bottle.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times, if you bottle with Brett, it appears
some
as
point.
as a re-fermentation
so
byproduct.
I guess we talked about that on the show we did with your Brett beer because your Brett was kind of Cheerios.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know, because the thing that I've noticed is like there's the Cheerios thing that you can get from like Berliner Weiss and stuff, where that's more of like a cereal grain character. This is more of like, you know, if you eat Honey Nut Cheerios, it has that like almost artificial honey nut thing That's what it's more like. So,
I haven't had Cheerios in forever, man.
yeah, it's probably a
bring
good
some.
thing. But yeah, I can look up the name of the.
Honey Nut Cheerios are actually a great cereal. I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
While you're doing that, I'll say that Bob Coons, is it Coons or Coons?
I believe it's
Bob.
Coons.
Oh, yeah.
That's unfortunate if it's the latter.
But he was a brewer under Mark Jilg, right? At
Craftsman, yeah.
Forever and ever. So,
And he had some time in Seattle too. And from what I've read, that they're pretty informed by the kind of Seattle beer culture, which I've talked about a bunch. It's kind of a different scene. And it's from, like Seattle, the brewery there is tiny. It's really small.
But I wonder if we could do a show at Craftsman.
I don't know, man.
That would be
They're
cool.
kind of under the radar.
I was going to say
and they have been forever
on purpose.
There's two places you can get Craftsman in, like East LA and San Diego.
You can also get it at Highland Park. They have Craftsman.
Yeah,
beers
yeah.
there, so.
But that's East LA. Like, you basically, like, even you go to the west side of LA and they're like, not so much Craftsman. But in the east side of LA, Pasadena over there, you can get it. And then.
Yeah, all of the Lucky Baldwins.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. By the way, tetrahydropyridine is
Tetrahydropyridine.
Pyridine is the flavor. Yeah, and so it's like this weird Honey Nut Cheerios. It also adds like a kind of slickness, and so you see that a lot in like young Brett beer.
Okay.
But this beer has none of that.
None of that. Yes.
Just to be clear, we've been talking about that off flavor for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
So going back to Bob Coons at the Craftsman, Craftsman has a beer called Triple White Sage, which kind of brings me back.
had
This
that
is like
beer.
the Brett version of that.
Yes.
And
Good call.
For
Yeah.
people who don't know, Craftsman is a really...
I love that beer, by the way.
They're one of the old school craft breweries in LA. They've been around for 10, 15 years
Something
more.
like that, yeah.
No tasting room.
Really tiny, no tasting room, completely self-distributed.
Yeah, like
and
one,
respected
yeah, like
to all
one
hell.
dude and an assistant, but always puts out killer beer,
And-
like
and, like-
consistently high quality.
And he has no interest in being any bigger. He's like,
Yeah.
that's
This is
where
my
they
beer.
are.
This is my business.
yeah, he's like, I
Yep.
pay me, I pay my one employee, we're good.
And I think they just self-distribute around LA. And
Yeah.
again, the San Diego, you'll see kegs weirdly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like Hamilton's and stuff.
Yeah. But
Well, if those like those more reputable beer establishments.
But they're one of the old school guys that anybody who's been around the beer world for a while, like Craftsman, is one of the ones they really respect.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we should move on to a little bit of a smog city.
Yeah, let's keep it in LA.
Perhaps.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Let's
Let's go down the 405 south. And,
More of a collaboration beer.
Yeah. Just by the way, real quick, Jason, thank you for bringing the Highland Park beers because they were delicious. And,
I've got lots more at home.
uncultured.
How about this?
I will take all
If
of them.
Highland Park decides to bottle a beer, it's pretty much always going to be a win.
It's a safe bet.
Yeah, I would say that. Because I understand, like, not every beer can be perfect from a brewery.
I mean, they're Brett beers, so.
but
You know what's
they
funny is
really
that-
have their shit together.
and
when
they
it comes
haven't
to
bottled any of
these-
their IPAs yet, and their IPAs are fucking great.
Why would you bottle them?
They're great.
Yeah. What was the one we had? I've been there once with you and Zach.
Probably Hello LA, I think, or was it the Nelson one?
No, I forgot. Damn it. Doesn't matter.
Hello LA is kind of their like flagship IPA, but yeah,
anyway, yeah, I had some IPA there, and it was fine. I mean,
the Bonkers IPA they had at LA Beer Week was
Bonkers?
killer. Bonkers.
Yeah. Speaking of LA Beer Week,
Speaking of LA Beer Week,
hey,
I always called it Lab Ear Week.
Lab Beer Week.
okay, that's a thing that you can do, I guess.
no, it's
La Beer Week.
He's on to something.
La Beer Week.
Yeah. So this was okay.
How's La Beer Week?
Created as a celebration of innovation and experimentation, this tart saison exemplifies what the LA Brewers Guild is becoming known for: the unity. Oh, capital letters.
Unity. Every
caps.
time I see that, I just think of the Chappelle, like, fucking Rick James with the ring,
right,
the
yeah.
Unity ring.
I think of
face.
UNITY. Yeah.
Okay,
No?
the unity of individualized voices coming together. We believe that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and our
Damn straight,
community will
the whole.
continue to benefit as we raise the bar together. Brewed in collaboration at Smog City Brewing, this year's Unity commemorates LA Beer Week 7, which promotes and celebrates the growth of craft beer culture in Los Angeles.
And John Vereve wrote an article for the LA Times, and Porter said that they made more of this beer than they've done for any other brand of their beer.
Nice.
So,
Real quick, I want to give Miss Frances Michelle a shout out. She got Jason and I into the LA Beer Week kickoff, and I don't know if we ever gave her proper
We
props.
haven't talked about it on the show. I don't know. Did we have a show since?
This is our opportunity right here.
Yeah, we did, but it didn't come up.
But they ran a phenomenal festival.
It was really great. It was right in front of the Natural History Museum.
Yeah, if you've been to the museum, there's this big grassy field there, and they took it over for a beer fest.
Yes, and it kicked ass, and it was cool because a lot of times fests like that, people are like, yeah, we'll bring a couple flagships and a fun thing, I guess.
Oh, LA Beer Week kills it.
But the LA Beer, everyone brought their A game, totally brought their A game. We had Highland Park. We had Highland Park there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Highland Park was killer. Beechwood had a couple of killer beers. What was the
Noble brought it really hard.
Noble brought it hard. Yeah,
we know it's not OC Beer Week, but we're gonna come bring our A game, and they brought We Saved Latin and the Mosaic Yum Yum.
Yeah, Mosaic Yum Yum,
which was really good.
Was it Phantom Carriage that did the collab with Cascade?
Phantom Carriage did a Cascade collab.
Crushed.
It was great. Think in the same conversation with Consecration. I'm not going to say it's as good as Consecration, but in that wheelhouse.
It
was
the Cuvée Tommy, that big, dark Belgian that was soured with fruit, really, really great. But just a killer event all around. And also a personal favorite, Ladyface of mine.
And
Ladyface
the organization was great. The layout was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So even when places got a line, they weren't bumping into each other, and there was water kegs everywhere. Really well thought out beer fest.
And did we mention that as far as public transit goes, it was in a great location for that?
We took the light rail right there.
Metro linked it,
and we got drunk and go home.
Yeah, it was great.
That's the best part of going to a festival that's run by beer people.
Yes,
I won't mention any FerkFest names, but there's definitely when you go to a beer festival and it's run by a beer person.
Yeah, the Blue Palms
makes a big difference.
Blue Palms anniversary parties are the same way. You can get off on the red line. I forgot exactly where, but they're within a block of the entrance or whatever for that, and it's perfect. You can, I think. It was me and Steve that we went somewhere in off the 605 because that's when he still lived out there, and we just took the public transit all the way in.
Took the red line right to Blue Palm.
Dude, it was great because I actually sort of knew, but this was the first time that I'd ever been on the subway in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is a thing?
Yeah. It's an actual subway.
There are trains in LA.
They have
here's a cool thing. I put in escalators and elevators in at 3 of those stations on the red line.
Ah,
yeah,
thanks,
it was pretty awesome. So no, it wasn't ThyssenKrupp. It was a different company.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
yeah. Thanks, other company that John used to work.
Yeah, overall, I will say, having immersed myself in LA Beer Week, I did the kickoff event. I did a lot of the events at the different breweries. It was really cool. I felt like the breweries really took it a lot more seriously this year.
Exactly.
In the past, it's been kind of there was a kickoff and there was a little bit of thing here, but the bars and breweries and everybody were just killing it.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it.
I missed out. Blue Palms had a Ballast Point tap takeover, and they had coffee sculpin. They had
coffee sculpin.
They had sculpin with fruit in it. They had all sorts of sculpin and some other beer, I guess.
Sculpin.
It's your grandma sculpin.
Buddha's hand sculpin.
Coffee
Think about your aunt.
Sounds gross.
They had sculpin with fish in it.
They had your niece's sculpin.
That's the ultimate sculpin, isn't it?
Yeah,
sculpin with sculpin.
We have sculpin.
Sculpin on cask with sculpin, dude.
It was
fucking 10 out of 5 sculpin.
we went full on sculpin with this beer.
Double the sculpin. So much sculpin.
They dry hopped a real sculpin in the keg.
It's made of bits of real sculpin.
This is really fishy.
No, they're pouring sculpin out of a sculpin.
Oh,
yeah, it's just that's what the tap. You open its mouth, out pours the beer.
There's a sculpin and a Randall,
and you have to kiss the sculpin to get the drink.
I think what they did was they caught some sculpins. They just threw them into the bright tank and just let them
swim around.
Let them swim for a while.
I mean, how long do you think? All right, if you threw a live fish into a tank of beer,
Why are
Like,
we having this conversation?
How long do you think it would survive?
5 minutes.
Not
5 minutes.
long. Yeah,
because it's
it would-
gonna. His gills are gonna like.
It's good. Yeah, the gills are going to start soaking up CO2, which is
CO2,
not
yeah.
how they breathe.
Oh
Right.
yeah. It's a pretty anaerobic environment.
It is
for sure.
very much
Oh,
so.
no.
That's the idea.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
I think
Oh,
that would be
Nemo.
kind of. So
What about some wart? What if you just threw some fish into a wart?
wart is also a pretty anaerobic environment.
This beer is
Maybe
not
a giant
vegan.
squid.
That'd be dope.
So this Unity, how does everyone feel about the Unity?
Unity's kind of funky, man.
Yeah.
It's got like this prickly pear fruit sort of sourness, acidity thing happening.
I get a lot of white pepper.
Yeah, white pepper,
Yeah.
kind of garlicky.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Garlic flour, I should say.
Or no, I can get just straight garlic for sure.
But it's definitely tart.
It's definitely tart. It's really it's tart. It's bright. It's very lively. You know, and that's one thing. Is like it's kind of an interesting counterbalance to the Highland Park beers that we just had, because the Highland Park beers, they were kind of funky, but they were really creamy and fluffy and full. They didn't really have that, like, you know, bright, like, sprightliness, you know, like they didn't, like, you know, kind of like leap off of your tongue like this does.
Right.
You know, and so that's really nice. It's kind of like, you know, two sides of the same coin, you know, when you're talking about, like, you know, kind of funky, you know, Brett Saisons or whatever. I wonder. I'm guessing this was like kettle soured or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm getting too. I just had a bottle of this maybe like 4 days ago, and it totally different from this.
really interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember it being this tart at all.
I don't want to say bike tire as a negative thing, but definitely some like rubbery.
I don't know how bike tire could be a positive thing.
Sometimes my nose just has a little like rubbery thing happening.
Yeah, well, anytime
phenol, like a phenol from-
Like
It's
you're
definitely
walking through a
I'm not saying
Kmart.
it's gross or anything. Yeah, like vinyl.
The
purse
bike department
sort
at a
of bike
Kmart?
department. Yeah, for sure.
That's a Gary Vaynerchuk thing. That's where I got that. Just
Who?
I'm not totally
Gary
dissing on
Gary
Smog
Vaynerchuk.
City.
You never heard of Gary Vaynerchuk?
No.
He
Gary
his
V.
family owns the wine library in on the East Coast. He's a pretty
He does all those reviews.
He did Wine Library TV, and now he's a social media expert guy. But one thing I took from he did like 1,000 episodes of his
Hey, guys.
podcast.
I want to have a real heart to heart right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
All
we
right.
do, like, 1,000 episodes of Four Brewers, and then like big industry comes a knocking, like, we got to keep the podcast going.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, even if like big beer comes and they're like, hey, look, we want you to do fucking Four Brewers the show, and here's a fucking fat contract, and you're gonna be Four Brewers legit now, man. We got to keep the podcast going.
Okay.
I hate when people abandon their fucking fan base.
That's kind of what Gary Vee did. But
Yeah,
he
well,
said
you see it all the time. Like, people on Twitter get really big. They get a reputation. They get like a book deal or something, and they're like, "Fuck Twitter, lates, motherfuckers." I'm gonna.
well, he didn't do that because he put out a couple books while he was a podcaster, and he still podcasts now, except it's more focused on business and social media and stuff like that. But one of the things he was really good at with describing wines was making it something like you walk through a Kmart. Who hasn't walked through a Kmart in the bike department and you're like, oh, I know exactly what that smells like. And I brought this up before. Like, he's really good at those descriptors and making it something that you can understand what he's talking about. So that's what that reminded me of.
That's like legit talent, and that's one thing. Like, I remember I was at a coffee shop at one point, and I just got into like conversation with the dudes there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a brewer, and I work at this brewery and stuff like that, and like one of the like younger dudes, he was like, so what do you do to expand your palate? You know, like when it comes to being better at tasting, like what do you do?
Lick all the things.
No, honestly, the thing that I told him was be good at language, be good at descriptors. You know, I mean,
Sure.
if anytime you smell anything, you know, figure out a way to describe it, because if you can put words to something, then it becomes a memory, and if it's a memory, then you can recall it in something. You know, and so
the memory remains.
yeah, gone insane. Yeah, with but no, that's the thing. And
I listened
that's
to that
very
song
true.
yesterday.
Well, but that's the thing is like people who are really good at that, they have, very specific memories attached to very specific aromas. And so, like walking through the bike tire section of a Kmart, that's so specific, but that's a very specific aroma. And if you have words for it, then you can always recall it. And those like super tasters, the people who are really, really good at it, those are the people who can be like, is this violet or is it dried violet?
What I
that
think
kind of shit.
it comes down to is having a really good memory.
Yeah.
Like, because there's certain things that stick out for me when it comes to aromas and flavors and stuff, obviously. But I have such a bad memory that I could never, like, because you're taken back to a certain point in time where, like, when he was in Kmart, Gary, and smelling the bike section and smelling the rubber.
Yeah.
Like, I would not ever think of that. But he remembers that, and it's like, oh, it triggered that thought, and so that's what it smells like. I'm just bad at that.
It started way back in history with Ad Rock, MCA, and me, Mike D.
Yeah. The thing that I always come back to.
Don't you downplay my joke, Matt. Don't you no-sell my joke.
No, but the thing I always come back to is that movie Psalm, like, which, I know, which
movie.
was
I'm
really controversial.
I could never do that.
But the guy
Like
who was
the
tasting the
Bible
Riesling, and he was like, that box of that thing of fresh tennis balls.
Yeah.
Freshly opened.
Yeah, freshly opened tennis balls. I'm like, that is such a great descriptor.
And such a white boy.
Yeah,
for
seriously.
white
people.
Such a white, affluent.
Exactly. Have you ever opened a tube of tennis balls?
I think once.
I don't think I ever have.
I've opened balls.
I've opened it.
And
Maybe
how many
once
do you
in
got to
my life.
open to like have that be something
For
that's
it to
stuck in your memory?
For it to lock in, yeah.
Was he like one of the ball boys? What are they called?
A ballpoint. Yeah, he probably
That's it.
was.
That's actually what they're called.
Yeah.
It's not offensive.
I think the technical term for that is a twink, but
Oh, dude.
so next up,
wow.
Tennis balls,
Next
though,
beer.
when I was a kid, we just had ratty ones that a dog chewed on and we would throw against the wall. And then
Oh,
if you
dog spit.
missed it, then you threw it at your friend's back or whatever.
Heads up,
It's like-
or what is it?
Butts up.
Butts up.
Butts up,
Butts
yeah.
up. I was going to say 7-Up, Heads Up, or something.
Heads Up 7-Up is a different game. There's no
Okay.
tennis ball involved. You guys ever
What
played
was
Butts
Heads Up?
Up?
What was Heads
I
Up?
forget the
7-Up?
rule. It would, like, you would be throwing the tennis ball, and whoever like ended up losing,
You did,
people
like,
would
bend
throw
over.
a ball at your butt.
Yeah.
It was like handball.
I always
with
lost.
modification
throw a tennis
with-
ball in your butt.
Heads Up 7-Up is the one where everybody puts their heads down.
Oh,
it's
that's like you play that in school.
It's when your teacher's hungover and they're like, just fucking play Heads Up 7-Up. You can't talk or you lose.
It's a movie.
No one make a sound. You hold your thumb up or something.
Yeah,
That's the game, right?
Something like that.
And
Yeah, and then
what's the
people
one
like
where
touch your thumb and you have to guess who it was. Like, who is it that picked me? And like, you never would have thought it was me.
So one thing that I found, it is both an advantage and a disadvantage of having a really sweet liquor store like right across the street from work, because I end up buying beer that I never should.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
the disadvantage of being a Reserve Society member. Is I
doubt,
buy
too.
beer I shouldn't be buying.
Reserve
But every once in a
Society.
while you come across it. Like I was buying Monster energy drinks 2 days ago.
Which you should not be buying. by
Yeah,
the
that's
way.
true. Probably.
Why?
It's a can full of chemicals. Like
It's there. Like everything that's awful for you is in that can, and it makes
Bullshit.
you feel awesome. But while I was there,
I honestly, full disclosure, I had a Monster 2 days ago, after the Choco Rain.
I've never had one.
Yeah, I had
after the
I-
chocolate rain
I've
experience,
never had a Monster or a Red Bull in my entire life.
Really?
You're missing out on life, man.
Just coffee, brewed beers.
Blue Monster.
They'll make you really happy.
Well, I'm good.
Yeah. But anyways, I came across this beer, Cerveza Sin Frontera
We should show that on the camera
en Barriles de Jerez.
because I've never seen this.
Yeah, neither have I. I didn't even know this existed until I found
just
it.
came out. It is so breaking from our LA Beer Week theme, and one quick last final fucking LA Beer Week rocked thumbs up.
Yes, definitely.
Next year, do LA Beer Week. If you're not in LA, come out.
Yeah, LA beers coming up. It's pretty awesome. We had a great time, and all the beers that we had were just fucking
I couldn't
awesome.
go because I was being certified to fix elevators.
I was in
that day.
Portland, so there you go. Portland Beer
And
Week.
since
Y'all
this
missed out?
beer is in Espanol, it's kind of like Los Angeles.
There you go.
you
There's a link.
But it's Crooked Stave, Jester King, and
Twadam?
Three ladies.
Troy's Dames.
3 hookers.
So three dames.
two Utes.
Three dames.
It's from
There's
two Utes.
drinking beers.
4 brewers drinking the 3 dames.
Nice.
2 Utes.
But no, this beer I really actually know very little about it. This collaboration was born from the concept of brewing an identical recipe together at each individual brewery, using our unique mixed culture fermentations and aging the same style of sherry casks. We're able to see how the resulting beers compared.
Sherry.
So this is a sherry cask, 5.69%.
Nice.
Something.
Beers.
I don't really even know what
It's
it
got
is.
Gusher written all over it.
Prepare.
That's what she said.
It's 3 dames. 3 dames got a gush.
3 dames. They're gonna gush all together. I'm sorry, John.
God. That was I mean, it wasn't the most offensive thing I've heard on this podcast.
We try to.
I like holding that.
We try to offend as
title.
much as possible.
No, we don't. I think we do a good job of not, but sometimes it happens.
I aim
that
to
acronym.
misbehave. Like that thing.
Sometimes it happens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wow. I didn't know John didn't kidney. Sorry.
Beer,
John.
beer has got a lot of aromas.
So 3 dames, huh?
3 dames. It's like women, but like 3 of them.
Oh, wow. That French oak is strong with this beer.
The
I
French
mean,
oak just-
you tell me
French oak was
that
strong.
Jester King and Crooked Stave did a beer together. I'm like, yep, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even care what it is. I don't care.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And Twadam too. Like they do a lot of really good stuff. They're a Swiss brewery, actually.
Swish.
And it's they're one of those breweries that you see them a lot, like in the import section of like your local good beer like bottle shop, and they don't get nearly enough love. But I get a lot of like toastiness off the nose, like immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of toastiness. I get a lot of like raspberry.
It's like a
Raspberry.
nice gold, like dark golden orange color.
Yeah, a little cloudy,
co-
but it has
bit
like a reddish
coppery.
tint. It has like a reddish tint. I think it's almost pinkish.
Yeah.
Um,
Deepish, bluish.
It's very tart.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It smells like it's going to be tart.
yeah. It smells like it's got like it smells like toast. Straight up.
I don't know about that.
I wouldn't say it's very tart. It's got a nice like tartness, but not like that puckery. Like, I guess we are literally going because you can hear it on the mic, but it's not like those super sour.
It's definitely not super tart. No.
It's got a lot of body behind it. Surprisingly, like it's actually
Definitely.
quite round. And then like the tartness kind of livens things up at the end.
Yeah. That's what I'd say too.
Yeah.
And it's crushable, too.
It kind of is reminiscent of the Crooked Stave saisons we've had.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure.
and obviously Crooked Stave was involved, but
You said raspberry. I'm still trying to figure that out.
I get raspberry on the nose.
yeah, it smells a little jammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, jammy.
Jammy, French oak, and tart. It's delicious.
Jammy French oak is going to be my new rap name.
I get a lot of black pepper.
Oh.
It has this spice note that I can't quite put my finger on.
Yeah, there's something weird about it.
No, I just like swirling your glass and you're like going. It's all going everywhere.
Woo woo! Here comes the spice trade.
This whistle tips.
Whistle goes woo! That's only in the morning. You're supposed to be up making breakfast or something.
Making pancakes.
I have no idea what you
Little
guys
sis?
are talking about.
Bub rub, little sis.
Bub rub. Oh my god.
What the
dude.
fuck are you talking
There
about?
was like a brief trend of putting whistle exhaust tips on your car, so it would just be like
yeah.
as you drove around, and it'd be like,
Like, woo woo!
whistle goes woo.
Woo woo.
But they're like, yeah, some people say that, it annoys them. He's like, that's only in the morning. He's supposed to be up making breakfast or something.
Making pancakes.
Oh man,
Whoa.
I just like that. That's a testament to local news. Is that they'll just interview like a random dude on the street and be like, "Yeah, I'm Bub Rub, and this is Lil Sis," and they're like, "All right, we'll put that on TV."
well, yeah, that's how like what the whole day. It's like, I was going down to get a cold pop, and I thought I smelled something like it was barbecuing or something, and I said, "Oh Lord, there's a fire."
That guy, oh my god, that's so funny.
That's the ultimate example of that.
I don't remember that one.
I didn't have no shoes or nothing, Jesus.
At least now we turn them into. At least now, like Shmoyo turns them into songs. They'd be like, "Back it up, back it up, back it up."
Did giveaway. That's the best.
Well, did you ever watch the Kimmy Schmidt show? Their intro is kind of like a play on that song. I think they had the Gregory brothers do it, and then they had an actor do it. But it's like unbreakable, she alive, damn it.
Yeah. I saw like the first half of the first. Is there a second season yet, or? I think it's still the first
season.
Yeah, I've only seen like 3 or 4 of the shows.
It was funny.
It was She's Erin from The Office. She's awesome.
Okay, sweet. So this beer is good.
Yes.
I like beer. Beer is good. I am Matt. Let's move on.
I gotta say, I'm not a fan of this beer.
I think keeping the inertia going is kind of my job here. For the record,
and fucking derailing it is my job. So let me do my job and you do yours.
He's the speed bump, and you're the inertia. Physics.
I don't go to where you work and knock the dick out of your mouth. All right.
Why do you have dick in your mouth in the first place?
Whose dick is in his mouth?
Whose dick is in whose mouth? I'm not sure if I'm the one with the dick in my mouth or if you have the dick. Who has the dick here?
I think he implied there's a dick in your mouth.
That was like a very Andy Richter delivery on it.
At your place of employment, there's a penis in your mouth.
Greg gets it.
All right, Jason, you can handle things.
So John was not a fan of the beer.
You do the outro there, Jason. John, did you not like the beer?
Are we doing an outro now?
Yeah, I thought we were moving to another beer. You're picking it up.
I think we got time for one more. This was kind of a
moving to another beer.
womp for me. I didn't like it.
It was fine. I mean, like, I wasn't as considering all the names involved. I wasn't as impressed as I wanted to be.
If I made this beer, it'd be awesome. But considering it's Crooked Stave and Jester King,
yeah,
I like it.
Let's drop the mic.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't as wowed as I wanted to be, but I still enjoyed it.
Let's collectively drop our mics and call it a show.
all right.
All right. Okay, cool. If you want to find us online, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. You can find all that information at fourbrewers.com. Go on patreon.com if you would like to donate to our cause of drinking beer and talking about it on microphones. You can give us a $1 an episode, $2 an episode, whatever you like. Check out patreon.com/4brewers for that information. If you
rate us on iTunes.
Rate us on iTunes. Yes, we want to be a better show. We want to be better for everyone. The only way we're going to know is if you talk to us.
They'd be like, during that one episode, that guy kept being an asshole when the one guy was just trying to keep the show together. 3 stars, 2 stars for the one guy, -2 stars for the other guy.
Nice.
There's a formula.
It's a very calculated thing.
Guess.
So yeah, go on iTunes and give us a rating because that would be rad. If you want to get in touch with us directly, you can find us at feedback@fourbrewers.com. And as always, brew the shit out of it.
What are we doing, Greg?
Thanks.
Nothing.
Thanks for that.
It didn't really.
Thanks for that brief little ditty.
All right.
It didn't really.
That's for the next show.